I still cannot believe how lucky I was. The superior flight characteristics of the Newport over the Fokker have almost cost me my life. Its inferiority in armament has saved it. I still can't quite comprehend how the Newport was able to turn onto my tail so fast. I remember that my wings stalled for a moment, as the Fokker was unable to sustain the turn I needed to put it through to avoid the Newport gaining a position behind me. That short moment, where I was unable to maneuver, was apparently all the Newport, with its superior maneuverability and power, needed to get into a firing position. He unloaded with his Lewis machine gun, raking my plane with a full burst. My engine and my fuel tank were hit almost immediately. Hot oil sprayed all over me, while the engine began to shake itself apart. In that moment, panic gripped me. I did not know if a bullet had hit me as well, but I was certain that the fight was over, and that my death was imminent. At any moment, the fuel and oil mixture covering my fuselage could ignite, turning my plane into a brilliant fireball. Had I been thinking clearly, I would have turned off the engine to prevent a spark from it causing such a catastrophe. But I was not thinking clearly. Instinctively, I tried to get away from the enemy, back towards our side of the lines. I put the airplane into a steep dive, and here the quality of the enemy pilot showed itself once more. Despite the steep angle, he was able to bank and roll his aircraft in such a way that he managed to stay on my tail as we were both racing towards the ground. With my fuel tank drained, my engine finally shut off. He, however, continued to shoot until his drum of ammunition ran dry. If his machine gun had been belt-fed, my life would surely be over now. Unable to reload in the middle of the fight, he tried to scare me into making a fatal error by buzzing my plane at close distance. Finally, I was able to land my plane next to a narrow road, fortunately on our side of the lines. At the same time, von Sastrov was also forced to crash land by the second Newport. We had the advantage in numbers, and yet that didn't count for anything. We lost 2 of our planes, and Bölke was forced to make best use of his E4 speed to run back to Sivry. Meanwhile, both French Newports remained unharmed. We cannot continue like this. The Newports outmaneuver and outpower us. As Bölke demonstrated in this fight, the new Fokker E4 is fast, but too unwieldy to gain a position behind the nimble Newports. We need better planes now. There are rumors that new designs are being worked on, but I dread what will happen in the meantime, as the enemy is fielding increasing numbers of modern Newports. I also fear that I have now used up all of my luck, and that I will be killed soon. I only see one way to avoid this destiny for myself and for the other German pilots. We all need to double our efforts to keep the numbers of enemy planes low. I used to have feelings of remorse and even nightmares over shooting down enemy planes. But the hatred and desire to see me dead, radiating from the French pilot, have thoroughly cured me of those feelings. He saw that my plane was going down. He saw that my engine ceased. I was clearly out of the fight, no danger to him or his wingman, and he could have left me alone. Yet he did not, but relentlessly continued to shoot until his ammunition was depleted, and then still came after me, trying to scare me into crashing. He has taught me a brutal lesson, the effects of which I will be sure to demonstrate to every one of his comrades I meet, and hopefully one day to him personally. Hello there, and welcome to a new episode of our amazing Wings Over Flanders Fields campaign, where we are flying for Kampfeinsitzer-Kommando Sevry as the German pilot Felix von Berg, and our airplane is the Fokker E3. In the previous episode, I got shot down. Somehow, and I really don't know how, somehow and miraculously I managed to survive that without a scratch. I managed to bring down the aircraft that was shot to pieces around me and landed. Well, emergency landed, I should say. But yeah, somehow I survived. However, it's really not an experience that I'm keen to repeat anytime soon. But it's getting difficult. In the previous 2 or 3 episodes we had some really close calls, which proves that it is getting more and more dangerous each day in the skies around Verdun, as the French are bringing in more and more reinforcements, as more and more of their squadrons are being equipped with Newport 11s. And those Newport 11s are very much superior to our Fokkers. They are basically flying circles around us. Somehow, I must try to survive. Somehow until better planes reach the front lines. But that is still going to take some time. And it's going to be tough. It's really going to be tough, and I don't know if my luck will run out. Well, today is the 22nd of March 1916. We are flying a mission in the afternoon. It looks like we had some bad weather in our area of operations that is currently moving away. So I expect that some of that bad weather will still be there, making flying conditions maybe a little bit difficult. Today, only Kette 2, so Chain 2, is going up, led by von Sastrov, with Grafe and myself accompanying him. Let's go to the briefing and have a look on what kind of mission are we being sent today. What is it going to be? Oh Christ. Meine Herren, a few of you from B-Flight have a special assignment. Your mission is balloon busting. Attack and destroy the enemy observation balloon. Watch out for the ground support. This is a special assignment. The Commandant has chosen B-Flight to carry out this vital mission. Ensure any ground units at the balloon site are destroyed. Only 3 machines from B-Flight will carry out this operation. Our destination is the enemy's observation balloon in sector VB 811, 17 miles away. They recommend that we fly at an altitude of 1,200 meters. Well, let's have a look. We are taking off from Sevry, we are flying to our circular point, and they want us to climb to basically 2,800 meters. That's excessive, I believe. However, it will help us to glide over the front lines with some altitude to spare, which will make it more difficult for the enemy on the ground to shoot at us. So maybe that's not such a bad idea after all. We are then going to fly to this balloon, just past Charny-sur-Meuse, and then we are gonna shoot it down. And after we have shot it down, we are gonna fly back to Sevry. That's the plan. All of our airplanes, if I take a look here, everybody is flying a Fokker E3, so no Bölke with his E4 today. But that's fine. At least I won't have to chase him. Right. Let's take a quick look at the weather. Overcast, broken or partial cloud cover and snow in places. Wind 6 knots, light breeze from the west. On bad weather days like this there will be another weather report. Ja, Wetterbericht. Ihre Aufmerksamkeit, meine Herren. Here is the latest from the local meteorological unit. Weather. Precipitation and heavy cloud cover. Precipitation rate. Heavy snowfalls. Snow cover heavy. The poor weather system is moving away to the east. Viel Glück. Expected wind 6 knots. Light breeze from the west. Okay. It looks like the weather, it might be a little bit difficult with it, but we'll manage. Let's go to the field. Alright, welcome to Sevry. And to something that I'll talk about in just a moment. But for now, let's start our engine. The more observant of you might have already noticed that something seems a little bit different. There they go. Let's take off after them. And we are in the air. So, what's going on here? Why are the Fokkers suddenly looking a bit different? Well, member of the dev team, one of the guys who's making aircraft skins, has reached out to me and graciously allowed me to use an early version of something they're currently working on. The historic aces in this game, well, most of them I think actually, have their own unique skins for their planes. And this is going to be expanded to the early war period, to the Fokker E series in particular, as we can see here, and also to a whole bunch of two-seaters. I can't tell you right now if that is going to come in the form of an official patch, or if it's going to be an add-on, basically like something like a mod that you install. I'll try to clarify that and I'll put it up on the screen, but it is something that you can expect to be available at some point in the future. I think pretty soon actually. And I can tell you this makes such a huge difference. I mean, let me bring this up for a moment. We see here, left of me, Grafe has this, what color is it? Beige? Linen? Something like that. Looking plane, while von Sastrov is flying a Fokker that is painted dark green. Number 633. And that is just awesome that I can basically look at one of them and with a quick glance tell them apart. Later in the war, in this game, when everybody's basically flying an Albatros and when the flying circus gets established, then the historic aces, they are all going to fly their individual painted planes, and that is just something really awesome and something that I really look forward to, and really one of the main reasons why I enabled the historic aces, so that we get all these colorful squadrons later. But early in the war, well, that part wasn't as fleshed out. We had basically the default yellow skin on all Fokkers, and now it is much more nuanced and diverse. So I would like to thank OBS for graciously allowing me to test this. It's working wonderfully, and in my opinion, it adds a lot to the game and to the atmosphere. It really does. My plane too has received a new paint job. We can see here the default skin for the Fokker E3 is now looking a bit different. We can see that the color is no more the bright yellow. It's more of a muted look or muted color of untreated or uncolored linen. And we can see that especially the underside of the fuselage is covered in the remains of mud and oil, and that just makes things even more awesome. Really, really great. I gotta make sure I don't lose my way here. So, once again, thank you very much OBS. As you can see, it's working beautifully, and I am very happy that this is coming to the game for everyone. Great. Now, back to our mission. The weather looks quite bad. Not gonna lie. It looks a bit better to the west. There we can see that the bad weather front is indeed moving away to the east, where it looks as if there's still snowfall coming down. Or rain. Well, here we are basically bordering the bad weather. We are still on its fringes, but to the west it already looks better, and later in the day, as the bad weather is moving away further to the east, it will get even better. So that's great. Now we just need to circle up to altitude. then hop over the lines and go for that balloon. You can see over there that direction, you can see no rain or no precipitation, rain or snow, not sure. Really nice. So yeah, we are now going to circle up, then we are going to hop across the front and go for that balloon. And we'll resume the video once we are entering enemy territory. Or maybe, if something happens before that, a little bit earlier. But I'll see you in just a few moments. Welcome back. We have entered enemy territory and we are on our way to the balloon site. We are receiving some sporadic anti-aircraft fire, which I assume is only gonna get worse the closer we get to the gun. But so far, it's not too bad. Could be worse. We have seen worse. Unfortunately, I really should have put waypoint 1 south of the circle up waypoint, because by the time we flew north, we reached waypoint 1, and by the time that we then did a 180 to fly back towards the south, towards the balloon here, by the time we did that 180-degree turn in a very wide circle, we had already bled off most of our height, so that's not ideal. We came over the front lines at an altitude where we were. It really wouldn't have made a difference if we didn't bother to climb. But now we're here, and it really does look as if we're using the cover of the bad weather to quickly hop across the lines and take out that pesky balloon. Hoping that the enemy airplanes won't be able to take off in this river. We can see that over there it still seems to be raining or snowing. And maybe that's where some enemy airfields are. So this is a good plan, which I'm sure will work. I'm sure we'll get that pesky balloon. I will simply follow von Sastrov, my flight lead. If he goes in for the balloon, I'm immediately going to follow him. And with the weight of both of our guns, we should be able to bring it down. Most likely he on his own will be able to bring it down, no problem. Maybe I'll just be there to guarantee that we are bringing it down. Now the balloon itself should be somewhere at this bend here in front of us. Actually, I think I see it. Right there. There it is. Nice. There it is. We are close. My machine gun is ready. The gun is over there. We should now enter the range of the anti-aircraft batteries, which means that pretty soon we are gonna receive a lot of fire here. Again, do I offset myself a little bit? I think I do. I see the balloon down there, just past my engine cowling. Right there. Gonna observe him. And when he's going in, I'll go in. Right there. Will soon disappear beneath my wing, but that's not a problem. I know where it is. I can dive onto it. Yeah, here comes the anti-aircraft fire. The balloon defenses. Okay, it's disappearing beneath my wing now. He is going over. I'm going too. We're attacking from two directions. This should really help us. Engine screaming. We are diving in. Oh, he already shot it. And it exploded. Let's get out of here. Good shooting. Really good shooting by him. Where's he going? I'll follow him. Balloon is burning up below me. Oh. I've been hit. Ground fire. Some machine gun or rifle rounds zipping past me or slapping into my plane. Not quite sure, but everything seems to be alright. We are getting away from the area, so we are good. We are making our escape here. And it looks like our plan is succeeding. We successfully used the bad weather to perform our strike. Now we just need to get out of here again. Preferably without encountering any nasty new ports. That's one. That must be Graviteam catching up to us. He's receiving some anti-aircraft fire right now. Yeah, the weather to the west is much better. Unfortunately, the weather near Verdun is good enough that the airfields near the city should be clear for operations. So I have to keep an eye out for that. See if there are any enemy planes coming to avenge the balloon that we just shot down. But that was a really good attack on the balloon. He got it without a doubt. He was shooting at long range and actually managed to hit the balloon and set it on fire. That thing already started on fire. Well, I had just squeezed the trigger. I don't think my bullets had even arrived yet when the balloon was already burning, so I'm not going to claim that. But the attack itself, I think we executed quite nicely. I was offset from him, so we were coming in from two directions, making it more difficult for the gunners on the ground to engage us both. And we were coming down on it basically at the same time. So in my eyes, pretty good attack. And Graf stayed behind at altitude to cover our 6. I'm very happy with the attack. That went very, very, very well. Now we just need to get out of here. And the weather. It's really bad. Okay. I'm going to fly out. And if nothing else happens along the way, then we'll see each other when I'm landing at Civry. If something happens along the way, then you'll see that. Then I'll see you much sooner. But for you, either way, it will just be a few moments. Welcome back. Anti-aircraft fire, 12 o'clock, our side of the lines. There. Newport. I'm pretty sure that's a new port. At least one. Honestly, I'm not too keen on fighting that thing, to be honest. I could very well do without. I don't know if my two colleagues here are damaged in any way, if they want to take up this fight. Yeah, we are crossing the front lines now, and there's a damn new port in the sky, and it's coming towards us. So yeah, I think we are gonna have a fight here. Well, at least I'll be able to tell these guys apart, right? That's great. Anti-aircraft fire too. No wonder he's seen us and is coming towards us. Okay, yeah, we are going at him. Artillery fire down on the front lines, stirring up the place. Do I go directly at him? What do I do? I'll try to go a little bit low and then come up from below. Now he's making a turn. It's definitely an 11. Somebody's getting some long-range shots at him. Oh shit, look at that turning ability. But there's an opportunity. Good shot delivery. Is he going in? No. Whoa! Ground fire. We are close. We are being shot at from the ground. Oh, there's a second U-port that I didn't see, but I doubt it. Damn. That was a turn. I lost sight of him for a moment. This is dangerous. Back there. Low to the ground. Somebody crashed. God, I hope it's not one of mine. I hope it's him. It might have been him, because it looks like we are getting out of here. Let me catch up to this fine gentleman in front of me while I climb away. If he crashed, if he went down, I believe I am going to claim that. Because I believe I will have been the one to do it. In front of me I can see two dots. Thankfully both dots are decidedly Fokker shaped. So that means the thing that crashed behind us was indeed the new port. I think I might have wounded the pilot and he bled out. Or lost consciousness. That's the best explanation that I have. I have received some damage myself. My right wing has a few holes that weren't there before. Left wing is okay. Not sure how the underside of my fuselage is looking like. But the most important thing is we are still alive. And our dear French friend most likely isn't. Although he didn't like spiral down into the ground at a steep angle, so maybe he survived the crash. He came in at a pretty shallow angle. Artillery is tearing up the place. Front lines are busy today. maybe the low temperatures have frozen the ground, which, believe it or not, is a huge improvement to the quagmire of mud that's usually down there at this time of the year. Frozen ground is much more agreeable to troop movements. Okay, yeah. We are climbing away, we are climbing towards Sivry, and we will soon arrive at the airfield. So for now, a little break, and we'll resume this once we are about to land. Welcome back. We are about to land at Sivry. The airfield is right here next to us. We are currently extending a little bit away from it, so that we do have a bit of a running distance. Enough time to slow down and use a little bit more height. But not too much height, because there are these buildings and trees in our way. The approach to Sivry can be a little bit tricky, but I'm sure that we'll manage. In front of us, as we can see by the green color, God, I love this feature so much. In front of us is Fort Sastov. Grafe is behind us, so we are gonna be the second one to land. Really making the war more colorful, and by that also more realistic. It just adds another layer of atmosphere that is just very, very awesome. I really like this. I was really looking forward to, you know, the later periods in the war when all the pilots, all the historic aces have their planes painted up individually in all kinds of crazy ways, at least on the German side. And to see that this is starting already now in some way, that's just really nice. I really enjoy this. It's such a small thing, but it adds so much to the game. Wait, what's that? 2 dots. Abort landing. What are those? Let's investigate. More focus, maybe? You guys land. I'll be with you in just a minute or so. I just want to have a look at these guys. There goes Grafe, preparing his own landing. I believe they are focus. Yeah, they are. They most definitely are. Okay, nothing to worry about. I was worried there for a moment. That's okay. Let's come in and land then. I'm not gonna now chase down those 2 guys. Who knows how long I would need to catch up to them. Okay. Blipping a little bit here. Grafe should be landing right now. Yeah, he's in front of me there. carefully slowing down. I don't want to overdo it. The last thing that I want is to blip for too long, because that will shut off my engine. And in this position where I am now, that would be deadly. Many a pilot died to such errors, and I don't want to be one of them. Keep it. Too much. There we go, better. Okay. I'll try to come in between those two. Flare out. Oh, that's nice. That was actually nice. Still not solidly down, digging in the skid. Now we are slowing down. Them. That's enough space. And I accidentally shut off my engine, because yeah, that's what happens when you blip too long. Once the revolutions per minute drop too low, the engine turns off. Oh, that was a flight, wasn't it, huh? Ah, look at the detail. With all the oil and mud. And yeah, same here. Really, really nice. I like this very much. Right. Let's go to the debrief. I have a claim to fill out. Or to submit, I should say. I fired 30 rounds only. 6 of my rounds hit, 20% accuracy. I'm surprised that I fired that little. Total flying time was 57 minutes. Despite our losses, we are making headway. Get ready for your next sortie. Final status, you landed at your home field. Your aircraft was moderately damaged, and it is estimated that it will take 1 day to repair. So yeah, I did see that my right wing was torn up a bit, so they're going to need 1 day to repair that. Work will commence immediately on this machine, that's good. Our airfield has sustained damage from enemy bombers, repairs will commence as soon as possible. Meine Herren, our mission for today was to attack and destroy the designated observation balloon. Kette 2 progress was as follows. A total of 3 aircraft took off without incident. 3 machines landed safely. The designated enemy observation balloon was totally destroyed. Excellent. If we look here, I am the only one who was damaged. Von Sastrov landed a lot of hits, probably on the balloon. Yeah, he did. He's claiming the balloon. I'm gonna leave that to him. I am going to claim a new port. My witness will be Grafe, because he was closest when I downed that aircraft. It was a Newport 11BB. And I'm going to type out a little thing. On our return from a balloon-busting mission, we encountered a single Newport 11BB patrolling low above the front lines. The enemy aircraft turned to engage us. Soon I managed to get a deflection shot into the enemy. After a brief turning fight, he crashed into the ground near the frontline positions on the eastern bank of the Mius River. I suspect that I had hit the pilot and he subsequently bled out or lost consciousness. That's going to be my report. Claim completed, yes. Done. Now let's see if that gets approved. Oh, that would be something if that gets approved. Another day in the air war. It is now the 24th of March. The enemy must be as tired as we are with this never-ending mayhem, but we must continue. Workshop report. A repaired machine is ready for use. It is in the reserve pool. Nice. Feldwebel Friedrich Kurz has been given a 48-hour pass. The Battle of Verdun is still raging on in the Verdun region. The Battle of Verdun is approximately 27 miles away. Fortunately, we are not in direct line of fire. Be extremely careful out there, and if hit, always strive to get back over friendly lines before trying to find a suitable landing spot. Current enemy air patrols are frequent and the air war has been dubbed the Fokker Scourge. Yeah, that's still ongoing. And no news for us. Weird. No news articles. There should be some. Maybe we'll hop back into the main menu for a spell. And then back into the campaign, where we get to see a little movie. What is it this time? Heavy artillery. Mortar. They are shooting quick. Damn. More artillery. So much artillery. And the mortar again. They are not even aiming. They have set it up and they are going to put rounds through that thing until it glows. Okay. You have flown 56 missions. We have to reduce that number by 5 for the missions that I have flown in Germany on training. So 51 frontline missions. Your total flying time to date is approximately 60.75 hours. That number we have to reduce by about 8. So we are up to about 52 hours on the front line. You have been serving your country exceedingly well and you have completed over 25 of your operations with diligence and determination. In addition, you have survived more than the average 17 hours of expected combat flying time. Although those 17 hours applies to much later in the war. At this point in the war, people didn't die that quick, I think. Currently, the Battle of Verdun offensive is being undertaken in the region of Verdun. The Battle of Verdun is approximately 27 miles away, but at least it's some distance away. Be extremely careful out there. Flying low for too long over a battlefield is ill-advised, as soldiers have taken to shooting aircraft for sport. Current enemy air operations are quite numerous and the ground war is focused around the Verdun region. The air offensive has been dubbed the Fokker Scourge. The date is 24th of March 1916, and hopes of the war being over by 1917 seem optimistic. This winter of 1916 sees us based at the field of Civry-sur-Meuse in Verdun. Our airfield has sustained damage and is currently undergoing repairs. The nearest front lines are approximately 7 miles away. Some nice historic pictures. Yeah, news articles. Oh yeah, look at that. I think I've read this one to you, haven't I, on the 22nd of March. I think I did. Yeah, I did. The mission that we have flown on the just now was on the 22nd. And did I fly a mission in the meantime that you didn't see? Wait, let me check. We had this mission on the 22nd, balloon busting. Yeah, no. On the 20th we have flown the mission where I got shot down, and now on the 22nd we have flown this one. So that means I should have read this article to you. If I haven't, just pause the video and read it for yourself with my voice in your head. But now we have a news article on the 23rd. Underground battles, Vimy Ridge. To combat the German tunneling advances, the British Third Army has deployed a number of Royal Engineers tunneling companies to counter-tunnel. This underground clash is developing into a desperate struggle, with both sides blowing mines to destroy enemy tunnels and infantry positions. There has been much above-ground fighting as a result, as each side tries to gain control of the resultant craters. That is, without a doubt, one of the most horrifying and shitty ways to wage a war. Imagine you are an engineer in a tunneling company. So your job is to dig. And then try to find the tunnels that the enemy is digging from the other side. And now imagine these tunnels that are being dug, they are not tunnels that you can stand in. They are tunnels that are Basically, well, they need to be shoulder wide, and that's about it. And you can move through them on your belly. So that must be really terrible. Meanwhile, above you, artillery is impacting the ground, so just really enshittifying the experience even more. No, that's nightmare fuel. And then imagine if tunnels meet and a fight develops. Well, who shoots the other one first has blocked the tunnel. This is... no. No, no, no. That's it done. Review. Let's take a look at the mission that we have flown today. So, we are taking off, yeah. Some aviatics are taking off at Spincourt. We are circling. Newport 11 is taking off from Lem. Caudrons are taking off from Vadelancourt. And Newport 11 crashes over here to the west. And another one. And another one? Did they have a mid-air collision? Must have. That's something weird happened there. Some Fokker E3s are taking off from Martincourt all the way up here. Some aviatics are taking off at Porsche. And we are now flying south towards the front lines. A German observation balloon is taking hits over here in the east. So yeah, the French have been doing the same thing to us that we did to them. Yeah, the observation balloon is brought down. Aviatic is dropping bombs on the front lines. And we are now flying to the river down here, where we will attack the balloon, and there we go. Shots at the balloon from von Sastrov, and he brings it down. And I take a hit from ground troops. And we fly back towards the north. A Caudron is dropping bombs on our airfield. Another French observation balloon over here near Varancourt is taking hits from Kekiamets. They have flown over. Taking a lot of hits. And is destroyed. But now, yeah, Sivry is being bombed. Yeah, maintenance crew, ground crew. AA gun. Things are being destroyed here, which is not nice. Aviatics are still bombing the front line over here. Maybe that's why the Newport 11 was in the area, looking for those aviatics. An observation balloon over here on the river, one of ours takes hits from a Newport 11 and is brought down. Okay, so that's why the Newport was in the area. A Fokker E3 from Yasta 7, well, it will become later Yasta 7, no idea which unit it is right now, but it landed at Sivry. Bad timing. And now we get into our fight with the Newport. It's right here on the front lines. I take hits from French troops. They're great distance, but they hit me. Newport 11 is taking hits from German troops in return. Maybe they... I actually didn't think of that. I did claim the Newport, but it's possible that it was brought down by a ground fire. Yeah, destroyed by German and French troops. There's a good likelihood that I will not receive that victory. Aviatic is dropping even more bombs into the area. Didn't even see that. And we are about to land at Sivry. And there we go. We are landing. And that's it. What a nice little mission. and we managed to avenge our balloon that was brought down. That's a big plus in my book. This has been enjoyable. Really nice mission, and my prediction is that the thick layer of snow won't be present for the next mission. On the 24th there's no bad weather, so the temperatures surely will be rising as the winter is coming to an end and, well, spring is almost there. So I'm sure that most of the snow, or maybe all of it, will have melted away. That probably was the last snow of the year. Of the winter, I should say. So, I hope that you have enjoyed today's episode, and I hope that you're looking forward to more. Until then, have some really great days, and goodbye. And also let me know in the comments, or more importantly, let the developers know what you think of the aircraft skins. I think they look magnificent. Alright, until next time, have some really great days, and goodbye.